Hello, League fans. Welcome back to another daily, well, not daily race, what am I saying? Another race in Mystery Week for LinkedIn Past Randomizer League. I am following our slots. Representing the Ohio Track and Field with 9 points is MrScruffNinjaTuna, and representing Double Dippers is swagalicious. They have 12 points, so 3 wins versus 4 wins. Now, like I mentioned, this is Mystery Week, so our runners are going to be dealing with, well, it's a mystery to everybody. From the outset, we can tell that we're not starting with a guaranteed sword because their sprites aren't holding up swords. We also do have to have the EN tag at the bottom, so we're not going to be dealing with Enemizer. But that's all we know so far. Most of what we are going to see is going to be a mystery. So, for instance, if we see our runners suddenly exit out of Link's house and they're in a dark world, then they're playing inverted. If they exit out of Link's house and they're actually somewhere else in the world, then they may be dealing with entrance route. We should be getting started here in about a minute's time. So I believe the commands work in this channel. Let me... Right, we are not dealing with key sanity. That is two light well crystals at Tower of Hera and Desert Palace and a pendant at Eastern Palace. So no kind of key sanity here. It's not inverted and it's not entrance shuffle. But that's all we know. So both runners looking to kill some blue guards here outside the entrance of Hyrule Castle. We've got magic, well, full magic drop from the one blue guard and magic from the tree pool. Oh, hello, it is Entrance Vendor. We just walked into the front of Hyrule Castle and ended up in the Kakriku Bomb Hut. So this is going to be very, very fun to track because Entrance Vendor really throws a spanner in the works. But at least it's 3 bombs. You can top up your bombs really easily at the front here. And Striker's still looking to kill some guards. He gets his full magic drop and then he's kind of hoping the red guard there gets out of the way, but it's proving pretty stubborn at not getting out of the way. He's going to try and drag him over here. Oh, the red guard loses interest and still stays stuck up there. MrScruffNinjaTuna, having a bit more health to work with, has made his way. So this being Entrance Vander, we're going to be taking a little fall into the hole here, and we're going to be ending up in one of many locations where you can take a fall into. For instance, this one is the Thieves' Hideout in the Lost Woods. There are some limitations with it. For instance, if you fall into a hole and there's an escape, then all your entries are going to be the same thing. But if you take a dive into a Skull Woods pit, you're probably going to be diving into Skull Woods itself. Just a slightly different Skull Woods pit. And one of these drop-down entries will lead to Ganon, so our runners will be hunting for Ganon through these drop-downs. So MrScruffNinjaTuna is taking the 4 here, and he's ending up in the back of Escape. Now, it could be that with Entrance Vando, that Ganon is still in his vanilla spot. It's not as likely, it's not terribly likely, but it can still happen. So you would still need to beat Ganon's tower to unlock that fool. Otherwise, he might just need 7 crystals to make Ganon vulnerable, or even less. Because this is Mystery Week, we have an assorted a varying amount of crystals that we may need to actually face off against Ganon. The minimum is going to be 3. Maximum is 7, of course. We can't have any less crystals than 3 to make Ganon vulnerable, so there's no going to be like super fast Ganon. And swagalicious has found the uncle side of Escape. Grab some bombs from the uncle. And 10 hours from the MrScruffNinjaTuna making his way to Lum. And that looks like the magic bag. Swagalicious has found Shahaswala's house in the Light World. So this is a house with 2 entries. So you can enter in one end and come out another end, and that will put you in a completely different part of the world. In this case, just south of Link's house through the block tunnel. MrScruffNinjaTuna heading over to the sanctuary, while Swagalicious is going to check out a bit of South Shore and see what he. Just finding a lot of fairy fountains so far. Inside Mini Mordor, we have another fairy fountain, but Swaga quite needs this one because his health's looking pretty dangerous. You definitely want to have more than half a heart going through the South Shore because those crabs hurt. They do 2 hearts of damage. On your base 3 hearts, you can only afford to take 1 hit. Ooh, a moon pole in a. MrScruffNinjaTuna is so excited finding that moon pole that he misthrows his bombs and has to try another time. Also finds a mirror down there. Three entrances here for Swagger, but unfortunately he does not have gloves, so he's going to be missing out on 1 entrance. This looks like a Dark World shop, so we might be dealing with a Crossroad entrance rando. Gonna have to check more in. And as you can see from MrScruffNinjaTuna playing in time with the music, Entrance Rando has a neat little feature for it called Quick Swap, which is usually enabled by default for Entrance Rando, and it is permitted. You're not usually allowed to use Quick Swap for non-Entrance Rando, but for Entrance Rando, you just get this little bit bonus. And he has found Mimic Cave. Nothing you can do in there without actually a means of killing mimics. Swagalicious has found the Thieves' Cave outside the desert, which he could use to farm some rupees, but for now he's not farming rupees. He does have that glove though, so my mistake. He can open up that entrance. Luckily, our runners aren't dealing with key 70, so they don't have to track that nonsense. But with entrance rando, you do have to track a lot of entrances and remember where you need to go to get to various places. Connectors can be particularly troublesome. You might find that you have to walk into a. You might find that you have to exit out of the Death Mountain escape in the light world, well, in the dark world rather, then mirror over to light world and walk in that entrance to end up somewhere completely different. It gets really tricky sometimes to work out where you need to go. The mirror is a huge help in entrance rando. Well, pretty much necessary, rather. And MrScruffNinjaTuna finds the chess game over in Kakariko. And that's a dark world location, which is in pretty nearby actually. But we might well be dealing with Crossroad. Swagalicious is doing a few of the same checks that MrScruffNinjaTuna saw. Whilst MrScruffNinjaTuna is covering the same part of escape that Swaga saw done. We have not seen any dungeon entries. Now, depending on the type of entrance shuffle, we could be seeing that all dungeon entrances are shuffled between each other. So you walk in Eastern Palace and you'll always be in a dungeon. Not necessarily Eastern Palace itself, but could be any dungeon. In the full entrance random shuffle, dungeons could be anywhere. You could be ending up with really early access to GT and a very deadly dungeon, but with a ton of items inside. So it becomes rather roguelike in that sense. How far can you get in the dungeon? Get your items, get out, and use those. MrScruffNinjaTuna is really excited about that quick. Just hope he doesn't go randomly bombing himself, because that would be a waste of time. The blacksmith is very close to their normal location. That's quite convenient. You didn't have to take them too far on a world tour to get them back to their resting place. Yes, Excalibur, very true. Dungeons do often tend to pop up in Kakariko Village because there are a lot of doors here. And MrScruffNinjaTuna has found a quite famous connection entrance around it. This is a cave you never normally see in the normal randomizer or the vanilla game or any time at all, except if you're an entrance random, but it is a connector. So in this case, it spits you out on the top of Hyrule Castle. You can get into Agatau here, or you can get into the other door and find yourself in a light world shop. So this isn't too much of a connector so far. It does get you to the Agatau entrance. We're not going to know what that is until we have a must sword or cape. But MrScruffNinjaTuna is going to use his connector to go in the other direction. Swagalicious has found another connector. That is the the boys' house outside the race game. You would normally use that to get to the race game, but in this case, it would be taken. The back of the Kakariko Bar is quite a unique entrance render because it is the only example of a back entrance in the whole of the game. So it is always going to be. The front entrance, of course, can be anywhere completely. Swagalicious finds the same connector that Tuna did, but from the wrong side. He can't. Well, he can get through, but he has to take the fall here. Going down those stairs is just puts you in. He's probably not too experienced with this. MrScruffNinjaTuna having bombs is making his way through the boys' house and ends up just outside Death Mountain. Not fair. Mostly just fast travel. Swagalicious has found the front of Hyrule Castle. Interesting. So this entrance is in the Kakariko. So we could be dealing with. It doesn't. It looks like we're not going to be dealing with full crossroad entrance shuffle, but considering we're only ending up in dead end shops and such so far, but the dungeon seems to be randomly shuffled around. At least judging from Hyrule Castle so far. Saga is thinking, does he want to continue? Yeah, he does. Well, no, he's going to take a death warp to the front because there's 2 exits in Hyrule Castle that he can take to get out to different locations. MrScruffNinjaTuna also finding the front of Hyrule Castle there, and he's out already. Wants to check the cave here first. And that's Ganon. Okay, so we need a hammer to access Ganon. So we're not going to be worrying about crystals to access Ganon's Tower because wherever Ganon's Tower is going to be, it's that's Thieves Town, Thieves Town in the library. So yeah, this looks like Crossroad entrance shuffle actually. Can't quite say for sure because you haven't found any connectors that spit you out from Light World to Dark World, but it seems like it. At the very least, the dungeons are shuffled between each other. We do have to find all our dungeons, and it could be anywhere in both. Yeah, we're not dealing with key sanity because we did see maps and well, we did see pendants and crystals on the map. So unfortunately, neither of us can see what type of dungeon Thieves Town is because they haven't got access to Dark World yet. And if you bring up the map in the dungeon, you get a map of the dungeon. You would get. But yes, as we saw maps and well, as we saw pendants and crystals on the map, that means we're dealing with no type of key sanity whatsoever. Key settings can be either map compass shuffle, map compass and small keys, or full key sanity, which is also includes big keys anywhere in the world. As you see, we get that map check there, and there were 2 crystals in the light world along with a pendant at Eastern Palace. And this game is quite tricky because you can't get to it through the regular way. You have to find the exit for this game through a different connector. Oh, that's the archery game in its light world equivalent. So if you want to farm up some cash, this is a great spot to do it. And Tuna's definitely thinking it because he does have access to King Zora with those. Both of us going to farm up here. A player you normally tend to see in an inverted because getting cash in the early game in an inverted is so much harder. But hey, if you want to do stuff in Light World and if you want to cash in Light World and you've got your archery game. Swagalicious is missing a few of his shots here and not really getting the full profit. He's missing. Archery game is a good one to practice if you're going to play any kind of inverted. MrScruffNinjaTuna is now going to check out a bit more of Hyrule Castle. He's heading to the right, so he wants to see what this entrance on the right is. Something you would, again, never ever see unless you're. Poor Swagger's losing money here on the. I think he's delaying his shots a little. He makes a little bit of profit, but he's spending a bit more time on this archer game than his food. So he's getting a hang of. Doesn't require too many tries to get the hang of. MrScruffNinjaTuna has walked out the left exit of Hyrule Castle and has ended up outside Bonecrocs and what with that? None of these connectors seem to be really going anywhere so far. Mostly just a fast travel. We've got a bow on the Lake Hylia Islands. That's handy. Don't have to worry about entrances to get to that. You just have to get to the Dark World. Have a moon bow handy, flippers handy, or some means of fake flipping over there, and then just mirror over. But that was a fire rod inside the which it wasn't a. And the Fortune Teller's hut is just the inn in Kakariko. Like most JRPGs, you can't stay in this inn or pay the keeper some rupees to. You've got a fair cave over here, which is the front of a Kakariko. Yeah, we haven't found, aside from like a dead-end Dark World shops and such, we haven't found anything that goes to Dark World. Well, and the dungeon, of course, but nothing that will actually move you into Dark World, a connect of sorts. So it seems likely that we're just dealing with non-crossroad entrance shuffle. That is the chess game from Lost Woods, something you never see anybody really play, because I think it is a prefer the game type. Do you press RNG and play the chess game? I would never do that. I'm the unluckiest person in band. Yes, Raga does play the hour game for a good few minutes, not having too much luck of it to begin with, because a little bit of inexperience with it. But he got his cash, he can cover King's Sword now. Not much means for runners to be doing anything in this entrance round so far. They could make a little more progress into Town if they chose for, well, ScruffNinjaTuna could do with that fire rod. I don't believe the fire rod actually works on blind, so they wouldn't be able to finish off. He finds a graveyard ledge, and there's just 3 bombs back there. Swagalicious has picked up mitts from somewhere, and I entirely missed it. Entrance round is pretty hard to track because you're covering the you're going between 2 screens really rapidly, trying to see where everybody's going. But he does get that fire rod from C-shaped house too. Again, it's a dark world dead end. You can't get anywhere in the dark world from that, although it is a location in the dark world. ScruffNinjaTuna is utterly addicted to that quick swap button. ScruffNinjaTuna also making his way to the South Shore. He'll be making his way over to the Ice Water Cave set of entrances, and maybe he will choose to take a fake flipper and check out the Lake Hylia Cave. This is normally where you would upgrade your bombs and arrows in the Oh, gets stabbed by a crab and takes a death. The Goomba is flattened. Plus 100 points, minus seconds lost on time. He's going to take another stab at it. You know, Swaga is going to finish off his Kakariko checks here. It looks like he didn't quite cover everything. Not really wanting to take any risks with those crabs. Tuna's going for fire rod strats. Crabs here are a little easier to deal with because they can't do vertical movement very well. The crabs, they go faster sideways. Of course, a crab in real life would probably just turn around, but these being 32-bit sprites, they can't really turn around. They just kind of stay facing the screen. Yeah, there's mitts in the mire shed at the Icewood Cave. And Tuna is going to top up his rupees a bit here in the cave outside. That's normally outside desert. Swaga actually found this cave much earlier before he even went into the hour game, but chose not to farm any rupees. He probably could have done a faster job of farming rupees. It looks like ScruffNinjaTuna is going to be setting up a fake flipper. Without the Icewood Cave available to them, you can't set up the water walk, although you would also need boots for that anyway, so he's going to use his screen transition here and jump into the water and transition into the next screen at the same time to set up the fake flipper. There he goes. So he's going to check out the Lake Hylia cave here. Actually, he's going to loop north to Hobo first. Reasonable choice, because the transition to the Hobo under the bridge isn't really an entrance, although it does have a special transition. So you're always going to find that Hobo under. And you'll go for that item because in Randomizer, you're kind of threatening guy. You could set him on fire with that firewood, or usually poke him with a... He's just dishing out a little bit of love today. Tuna gets back in the water. You have to jump in the water from a specific point to set up the fake flipper again. Not the extreme end of the way you can walk up in that corner, but just a little bit south of there. But he gets in one try, so nicely done. And looks like Swagger's also going to go for a fake flipper here. He did come through this area quite a bit earlier, but he just didn't do it at the time. So that's kind of funny, actually. Walking into the waterfall cave, but still puts you in the swimming state like it would if you were fake flipping into the normal waterfall cave. But instead, you're fake flipping inside Hyrule Castle, which isn't practical whatsoever. He's now making his way to Zora. He's got a whole load of cash for Zora, and Palace of Darkness is pretty out of reach at this point, so don't have to worry about entrance to that. But they would even need the 110 rupees to access the Palace of Darkness entrance, because that could be pretty much anywhere else. Could be another important entrance, though. And that was just a very expensive piece of heart, and even though MrScruffNinjaTuna is still only on 3 hearts, he just leaves it behind. I would have just picked it up. I know it's a really spiteful thing to do, to just throw a piece of heart at you for 500 rupees, but when you're this low in life, you still take it, because company chooses. Swagalicious finds the sick kid, no bottle, but that is a location to mark off to do in the future. And I believe that was in the Lake Hylia entrance, so Tuna is going to find out himself very shortly. Yeah, there it is. So we don't really have much available to us. We know that going into the Death Mountain Cave puts you back in... Okay, we've got Dark World here. We've got Green Pendant in Mire, Blue Pendant in Swamp, Red Crystals at Darkness and Turtle Rock. So yeah, with that Titan Smiths and the Moon Pole, you get access to a tiny portion of Dark World, and it puts you in a light. And that was a completely dark cave for Swagger. I have no idea where he was. Seems like probably was deaf. So that is another connector, but he did not choose to. Swagger going to have a little bit of a look over here on the desert. There's a flippers on the desert ledge, so once we find the flute, we can grab that. Swagger's also going to need that mirror, though. I believe he needs to grab the moon pearl and the mirror from the Kakariko well, and he has not found that drop down. Tuna doesn't choose to go over to the desert himself. He wants to check out a bit more of Dark World for those myths. He just finds himself in a soothsayer's hut. You pay the guy inside the store some rupees. He tells you a story and tops up your health. So it's kind of like a Dark World inn. That is an entrance to town. You can't do anything in there for now. Right, so it's looking like all of our Turtle Rock entrances are lurking here in the Village of Outcasts. So Tuna's probably going to want to try and find that back entrance that puts him on laser bricks. That gives him access to 4 items, assuming he can dodge his lasers. Okay, this is the waterfall cave. Perhaps it was coincidence that he just found 2 Turtle Rock entrances here, because that obviously was not Turtle Rock, and Turtle Rock has a lot of entrances to access, so perhaps the other entrances are elsewhere. Archery game leads to the Dark World Fortune Teller's Hut. Again, if you want a health top up, it's there, but we've got access to a lot of fairy caves already. MrScruffNinjaTuna digs up a hookshot and is going to dig up a bit more cash here from the digging game. Wants those 110 rupees to get into Palace of Darkness and see what that entrance is. So if you find yourself in a dark world and you want to get over to Palace of Darkness, but you've got cash for the digging game, but you still want to get to Palace of Darkness, just do a bit more extra digging and get yourself that top up cash. I think it's unlucky and find the digging game prize really, really late, in which case you may have the cash already. Now, here we see use of that mirror. So, MrScruffNinjaTuna has found Bumper Cave at the back of at the entrance to the. So he can't get through there without the cape, obviously, but that is a connect. I think Excalibur in chat said that this was the Kakrika well, so Swagalicious is going to run in, see it's a well, and it's not a Ganon, so we know where Ganon is. He's at the blacksmith's, and Swagger did see that. So I'm surprised he didn't actually take the fall first. But yeah, he's going to get his mitts and mirror here. I mean, Pearl. Pearl and... MrScruffNinjaTuna taking that blacksmith a little further north than he normally goes and returns him. He made a spot that almost put him right by the lady that gets really mad if he talks to her and summons a guard and locks her door. It's not even her house. It's a blacksmith's house. So MrScruffNinjaTuna retrieves that purple chest, and because you don't have to go into any entrances with that purple chest, you can just take it along with you. So you can also check out Stumpy, and you can see what K45 is over here. Swagalicious is also making his trip into Dark World, not choosing to check out Ice Palace like ScruffNinjaTuna did, but he's going to be grabbing all the same stuff that Tuna did over, which was namely the hookshot from the digging game. Question chat, where's Firerod? I believe it was just east of Link's house in the cave shop. In the light world, because we haven't been over there in Dark World yet. Ah, there's a cape from Stumpy, very close to where we actually need to use it. That's quite convenient. So you're probably going to see ScruffNinjaTuna forget about that purple chest and just walk back there and check out that bumper cape. It is a connector, and connectors are pretty important in Entrance Render. We haven't seen any that are going cross-road yet, so... Swagger accidentally bombing himself a few times trying to get into the brewery in Village of Outcasts. Oh wait, ScruffNinjaTuna is going back for his purple chest. Did he lose it? Huh. So this is a good opportunity for NinjaTuna to check out the desert area entities as well. Just grabs a piece of heart from that throws a rock at the locksmith because he's unhappy at pieces of heart. You're on low health, Tuna. Don't turn down those pieces. We do not know what the goal is. None of our runners have been up to the pyramid. We'll probably be seeing Tuna head up there fairly shortly. There's a lot of entities to check there so far. Looks like Swamp Palace is itself. So we don't know where the dam is yet. We're going to have to drain the water in the dam and then make our way to the regular swamp entrance. Tuna has found... interesting. So, he's going to get his item from inside Spectral Rock here, and then he's going to be taking the cave outside from different exits. He does grab his 10 hours for completion. Accidentally raised a hint out. It looks like he's setting up a bomb jump to go for the top entrance instead. And takes a fall, so he's going to be forced to take the bottom entrance, well, bottom exit instead. Now, it looks like we are dealing with full entrance rando. We have found thieves so far, and that was not an... Tuna has popped out in my area. This is quite useful for him actually, because he can go get the now. You can also check out a couple more entrances in desert, such as checkable cave, back of desert, front of desert, the left entrance. And so there's the Persian shop. So if you want to turn in a mushroom, you've got to get yourself to checkable cave. Still, that was a Dark World entrance going to a Dark World exit, so I do not believe we are dealing with cross-road entrance rando, but it does look like full entrance rando. So to explain the difference, simple entrance rando is fairly simple. Dungeon entrances will always go to dungeons, not necessarily the dungeon you're expecting, but it will be a dungeon. Full entrance rando on the upper hand, if we take the dungeons example, dungeons can be anywhere in the world, anywhere at all. So we've already found Thieves Town. We found Swamp Palace, which actually happens to be in the regular Swamp Palace entrance, but those are the only dungeons we've found so far. I'm thinking we're going to be finding a lot of dungeons on Death Mountain. We have also found a few entrances to Turtle Rock, and there's one more entrance to Turtle Rock in a completely different part of the world to the Fields of Outcasts, where two other entrances were. Again, Tuna really wants to find that entrance to Laser Bridge because he can actually do stuff there without needing Cane of Smire. Swagalicious is also going for the bomb jump in Spectral Rock. Also messes it up and is going to be popping out in my area himself. We've got Hype Cave here for NinjaTuna in the front entrance of Desert, and Hype Cave is a bust. He hasn't mirrored on, Scruff hasn't mirrored onto the desert ledge yet, but the flippers are raiding there. And he mirror box. Swagalicious has walked over to the desert area already, so he knows flippers are there, and he is going to actually check out the left entrance to the bio shed first, which is, again, that's front entrance to Turtle Rock, and grab those flippers. A little bit of a high five coming up here from our runners. They're just going to slap each other on the way to and back from flippers. Again, Swaga has not found that fire rod, so the Volta is getting in his way a little bit. Back entrance of desert is Shahasrara. You can get 3 items here and for handing you a green pendant later. A little bit inconvenient, but not too bad. Again, nothing in the back of Shahasrara. I would think from here, MrScruffNinjaTuna is hoping to take a little trip into. Well, he's going to take a trip into Skullwoods. He's got the fire rod, so he can get to the back end of Skullwoods. Now, Skullwoods being a rather funny dungeon to enter, all the pits in Skullwoods are going to lead to Skullwoods. Not necessarily the pitfall you're expecting, but you will get into Skullwoods. The back portion of Skullwoods, however, is not going to lead to the normal back entrance to Skullwoods is not going to lead to the back portion of Skullwoods necessarily. It could be else. But this front portion is always going to be over here due to the funny nature of Skullwoods and its pitfall entrances. We've seen one dark room so far. I think it must have been the Death Mountain entrance because that was just outside the desert area in the under the rock where you would normally find the thieves' cache hideout. But swagalicious has walked in there and chose not to do anything. So we don't know where that spits us out. Possibly could put us out on Death Mountain itself. Swag does have that forward. I was thinking he'd. The firewall was just in that in the Lake Hylia shop, so would be a rather unfortunate location to miss. Three bombs in the front of Skullwoods. That's not great. One more chest coming up for MrScruffNinjaTuna, and he will have to make his way out. You can go to the back entrance and see. Swagger still choosing to avoid Skullwoods. He's going to take a little peek here at the North Dock. And he finds the Misery Maya entrance in the Fortune Tower. Now he could go a little bit into Maya with that hook shot, but he's just choosing to leave it behind for now because he doesn't have too much health. He could kill the Rizrobes and the little tentacled things with the combination of Fire Rod and the hook shot, but he is leaving it behind for now. I'm going to check more entrances. MrScruffNinjaTuna cave. It's a big connector, and you get a lot of items inside. It's a Oh, Saga tries to get into the Dark Sanctuary and takes a death to the Hinox that's camping outside. Meanwhile, Junior has picked up the hammer from Pagos Cave. Really nice item, and considering you haven't found any swords yet, this does give our runners a melee option. At least it gives Tuna melee. We have not seen any 20 greens yet, so we don't know if this is a swordless seed or not. One of the previous races I covered this week, we didn't find any swords until an hour in, and then all the other swords were lurking in Ganon's tower, so it could still be ending up with that. So Tuna taking out the Dark World side of the Ice Water Cave. Again, an area you never see unless you're an entrance vendor, but he's found the front of her. Is it that? I've got the big key in the first chest, so Tuna's going to make his way to the back, open up that upper chest, and then probably make his way up to Mordor. This is a crystal dungeon, and we know we're going to need at least 3 crystals to face off against Ganon. Doesn't mean that Ganon is a goal, though. Could be a pedestal seed. We don't know the goal yet. Nobody's been up to. It's actually choosing to do the hairpot method instead, but he pulls it off really quickly, using a bomb jump to clip into that pot. Well, a bomb knockback to clip into that pot, and then a hook shot to hook to the other side of the pot and then fall in. If you can pull it off in one try, it is. If you can pull it off in one try, it is faster than doing with well, going through the regular way and opening up the doors and going through the floors. If you take a few tries to do it, then it would have been fast just to go up the regular way. Here's a quick dungeon knife way. This just saves even more time if you can pull the trick off. We have not seen the curtain in Skullwoods because we don't know where the back entrance to Skullwoods is. So that is, of course, a tell if it's swordless or not. Another tell would be to find the front of Ice Palace if there's a medallion symbol there, or to find Agger Tower, get up to the Agger, and see if you can actually access Agger or not. If you can't, then oops, you've just wasted a whole bunch of time. So MrScruffNinjaTuna grabs his first crystal. Might not be necessary. We don't know yet. I think with that hammer in hand, he may well be thinking to take a trip over to Pyramid Tuna. But he's going to take a pit stop over in the basement of Hera. Probably gather his thoughts, think about where to go in the scene. There we go. He's nice and invincible on top of those crystal blocks, and he's just going to chill out. Swagger having a bit of trouble in the front, trying to get into the back room of Skullwoods. He had to go grabbed by the Wall Master once. He's waiting for it to drop down now, and then he's going to pull the statue. So he'll get. And Tuna is not taking a break. He's still spamming that quicksort button because he can. Ten hours in the basement of Hera, so no real items in here. It is +1 crystal. Swagger's making his way to the back entrance of Skullwoods, where does it spit him out? Oh yeah, this was Paradox Cave, of course. Because Tuna was here. And hello, that's Ganon. So we've got Tower of Hera and Ganon's Tower right next to each other, which technically they are in the normal game, but here they're even in the same. So there's a lot of items that Tuna can grab here, and having that hookshot is super useful for getting through this side of Ganon's Tower. You can't get onto the right side and check out the 4 chests that are locked by Ken of Samaya. There's a sword, so this isn't sword. And this being entrance render, you can definitely have a bunch of progression in here that you do need, like. There's Yes, no junk fuel in Entrance Rando. You'll often find Ganon's Tower pretty early on because it's a very item-rich location and uses items to go through other places in the seed. Oh hey, maps. So Saga is also going to find Ganon's Tower and Tower of Hera here. He's just following a little bit behind MrScruffNinjaTuna now. But he's going to see that Ganon's Tower first, and he's going to do the Ganon's Tower first, because of course he's doing Ganon's. There's a shovel, often a junk fuel item in Ganon's Tower. Could be necessary here. We don't know yet. Key on the torch, which I missed for the first time. So luckily Ganon's Tower does have quite a lot of keys, so we may not necessarily be needing that one. Blue mirror in a randomized room, and a blue boomerang, a green rupee, and a red mushroom. Lots of different colours in there. Blue mirror definitely being the best find there. Yes, that is correct, Amrith. Blue mail means it's not hard mode, so we're going to be able to get all 20 hearts if we so choose. You'll also be finding red mail. If we were on hard on expert, there would not be any mails available whatsoever. So I go using that cape to get through the firebar room to open the chest there. He's out of magic though. And MrScruffNinjaTuna is going to take a bomb jump over to Ice Armors. No bow, so he's got plenty of magic, so he can fire out a few of the Armors Knights. Ooh, Master Sword. That's 2 swords in Ganon's Tower. This always seems to happen. So yeah, that Master Sword is going to make the Armors Knights quite a bit quicker, luckily for him. You can use the fire rod a bit on the Armors Knights to bring some of them down. I don't think it does terribly much damage though. Otherwise, we'll be looking at a hammer or fighter sword, and neither is particularly present for armor. He keeps that one Armors Knights from getting in position so that the boss fight doesn't progress. So spam that sword a bit, and you form yourself a hole in the charge formation pretty. Again, he's keeping the knight out of position to keep the fight from progressing. It does manage to get in position first, so it progresses. And he's got to watch his health because he's getting a bit low. Okay, that's one more Armors down. I believe Master Sword does funky amounts of damage to Armors Knights. A Master Sword poke does more damage than a Master Sword swing. Unfortunately, you cannot use a hook shot to kill the Armors Knights. You can use Blue Boomerang. You really don't want to use Blue Boomerang because it does pathetic amounts of damage. I think MrScruffNinjaTuna was just using it for the range knockback to avoid getting charged into. He's playing very carefully here to avoid taking any damage. And swagalicious only has 3 hearts to play for himself, so he's also got to be careful. Of course, he's got to do the bomb jump here, and that's going to lose him a bit more health. So, dangerous times. This is one of those few times where boomerang strikes for Armors Knights is actually reasonable. Not full time, of course. Just to give yourself breathing room. Oh, no. Swaga bombed the platform outside Armors Knights a bit early and is missing out on that Master Sword. So it's going to be using Fighter Sword instead. He's going for Fighter Sword spins. Not bothering to keep the Armors Knights out of position. MrScruffNinjaTuna is actually giving up on Ganon's Tower for now. Fortunately for swagalicious, he messed up and is going to miss out on that Master Sword unless he can loop around. If he can loop around, that means he's going to have to kill Armors Knights here on his 1 heart container. That is quite a tall order. And ScruffNinja, yeah, ScruffNinjaTuna remembers bows and neck highlight irons. And if you want to go take another try at Armor's Knights, that's a. In fact, considering that the bow was so close and Afghanistan entrance right there, I would have, if I'd remembered and I was playing this myself, I'd have just exited straight out of GT and gone for that bow and then come back. Oh, Swagger takes a death too, and missing out on that sword. That's bad. Of course, because he's missing an item, maybe he will go for that bow and then come back. I don't think ScruffNinjaTuna check out the right side here. There's a red rupee and a piece of art, and oh, that's back into of Skull Woods for Scruff. So he knows he's not dealing with swordless, and he's got a sword now, so he can take on Mothula. Swagalicious is going to take on Hera for now. ScruffNinjaTuna already did this, so this is just backtracing. Ah, Warmaster. So this sets ScruffNinjaTuna back a little bit of time. Swagger's running a little bit behind here on Tuna, and that Master Sword is going to make quite a bit of difference too. So mistakes that Tuna makes what Swagalicious really needs right now. Mostly they've been backtracing each other for the last half hour. He's not taking the hairpod first, so he spends a little more time getting to the top. ScruffNinjaTuna doesn't have too much magic to play with here with Mothula, but he does have a Master Sword, which is way better than the Fighter Sword. So as long as he can dodge the spikes, he should be able to do this. The blue mail is a big boon here. There we go. Oh, Swagger takes a fall and is down to the bottom floor of Hera again. So that's not the kind of mistake that Swagger really wants to make, because the mistake that ScruffNinjaTuna makes with a Warmaster has now been compensated for, essentially. Yeah, ScruffNinjaTuna wants no more stuff to do in the Gunstar. He probably wants to grab a Cane Samaya before he goes back in. Then we could be seeing him make a full right play, get those four chests on the right, then hello, that's Castle Tower. Yeah, we are not going to be doing Castle Tower. There's no reason to. Now, when is he going to get over to that pyramid? We want to see what the goal is. He's determined to make the long trek over to the Palace of Darkness entrance here first. So you're paying 110 rupees for Kiki to get into a mystery entrance. It's probably not a dungeon. It might be a dungeon. Might even be Palace of Darkness. That's the Death Mountain escape. So you can get through this. It's a connector. You can get through to the front entrance of the escape. And this may put Tuna out on the mountain. Just have to see. Saga takes down Mordor. And that's no good. Well, it does put you on Death Mountain. It's just to the back entrance of Turtle Rock. So you mirror over, and it's like you're playing inverted now. You can get into entirely. That's the bottom of Spiral Cave. And Tuna does not want to check out anything on Death Mountain. He wants to stay on the other side of. So yeah, Dark World connectors are going to Dark World. So this is definitely not Crossroad entrance. Yeah, rather than check out Death Mountain, which is a plethora of entrances to check out, ScruffNinjaTuna is going to log his little Goomba feet over to that pyramid and see what the goal of. Perhaps his two crystals were entirely unnecessary. Perhaps it's a pedestal. We don't know yet. If I remember correctly from IRC, he's hoping for all dungeons. So I'm hoping not, because all dungeons in Entrance Rando is quite lengthy. Ah, there's that kid. In the Telltale's hut, just outside Palace of Darkness. So that could send ScruffNinjaTuna back into GT to finish off his item collection. But nope, he's still heading up to the pyramid. It's time to see what the goal of a seed is. A question in chat, yes. The cape glitch, when you are holding a wall and pulling on the wall when you're using the cape, you do not drain magic. You will typically see this used in Tower Room and GT because Tower Room is quite annoying. You got a bunch of Medusas to, sword activated Medusas to avoid there, as well as a Bunny Beam, a Wall Master, and two bouncing anti-fairies. Well, that is interesting. That is very, very interesting. So I was talking about crystals being unnecessary, and that seems to be the case. We need pendant. Soraka has found the laser bridge entrance to Turtle Rock. So there's 4 items he can grab here. Fortunately, no cane, so he can't obviously explore any more of Turtle Rock, but I was wondering that. Oh, he's not having much luck with lasers. Yeah, most runners prefer to have boots for a laser bridge. Luckily, if he takes a death here, he just goes put back at the entrance again. But fortunately, doesn't see anything, and ScruffNinjaTuna has found the left entrance of Desert. So there's a few items you can grab here, and you can also get out 2 other exits to pop up in other places in the world. Small key in the first chest of Laser Bridge. A flute! Very nice. So that will get swagalicious up to Death Mountain much more easily. You can also put him in the Maya area much more easily. Gets shot in the eyeballs by another eye laser. But again, that just puts him right back in the same room, so he just has to take another trip through with his reset health. Yeah, there's no kind of enemizer in this seed. If it was enemizer, we would have seen on the file screen that the EN and then numbers tag that would indicate some kind of enemizer. But since there was no present, none of the enemies. Instead, we have entrance shuffle. Well, we keep ending up with dungeon entrances right next to each other. There's Paz of. Interesting that ScruffNinjaTuna doesn't want to go through. There's quite a lot of items in Paz of. Judging from our pedants, we need Eastern Palace, Swamp Palace, and Mizumaya. So I'd definitely be cleaning out Palace of Darkness, trying to find a Bomber's Medallion, and that's exactly what swagalicious is going to do. Again, though, he doesn't know its pedestal yet because he hasn't been to the pyramid. So he's probably going to be going. MrScruffNinjaTuna is now disincentivized from going for crystals, so he's avoiding it. Oh, he doesn't have that bow from Lake Hylia, so there's not much he can do in Palace of Darkness. I think swagalicious should have seen the Lake Hylia Islands. I'm surprised he hasn't gone to get that bow yet. He definitely should go get it now, unless he's found Palace of Darkness. So yes, swagalicious needs that bow to do Eastern Palace. So that is a hard requirement. We're going to be needing to find a Bomber's Medallion for Mizumaya, but we know where Kane is, so we can complete Maya once we have the means to get inside. And Swamp Palace, we've got the mirror, but we don't know where. We've got the flippers, we've got the hookshot. We just if it ends up being somewhere like, say, the front entrance of Tower of Rock, we could need another medallion. Yes, we know where the Mizumaya entrance is. Tracker's keeping a bit more record than I am, but I did remember that one. That is the Fortune Teller's Hut in the Dark World, just the northern village of that. So we know where Mizumaya is. We don't know where Eastern Palace is, and we don't know where Swamp Palace is. Swagger really should be heading to get that bow and check out the pyramid. He's got his hammer now. I don't think there's too much reason to be avoiding it, but he's checking out the Death Mountain entrances for now. Because there's a lot of entrances here. Looks like that was the Lake Hylia ferry that would allow you to upgrade your bombs and arrow capacity. Not interested in. MrScruffNinjaTuna finds the back end of Hookshot. So it's another connector, and you can get 4 items in here. He knows it's pedestal, but he wants to find Swamp Palace and the medallion. Bomb. Also, Eastern Palace. We're going to be doing a lot of entrance hunting to find those done. That's Craig. Wrong medallion unless we have a dungeon in Turtle Rock. Front end. Again, this is full entrance shuffle, so we're not necessarily going to be dealing with dungeons in dungeons entrances. They could be anywhere. If the siege was feeling mean, and it could well be feeling mean, we could need to enter Gan's Tower to find, which would make our dungeons hate their lives and their choice. But then again, our runners may be completely insane and they may love. ScruffNinjaTuna definitely strikes me as a masochistic type, so I think he'd enjoy it. Imagine if the randomizer stats track the amount of times you quick swap. Because I think ScruffNinjaTuna is heading into the 4 digits range here on quick swapping. So Swaga finds the front entrance of Hookshaw Cave is a pretty useless connector, and it's still lagging a little bit behind here in NinjaTuna Inch. He's missing a Skullwoods clear, but Skullwoods clear doesn't really matter at this point. We didn't get anything for it. It's just +1 crystal to enter Ganon's. We actually don't know how many crystals we need to enter Ganon's Tower. It is an entrance. There could be a dungeon. It's unlikely because it is just one entrance compared to all the other entrances in the game, but we have gone in a lot of the other entrances in the game. So don't count it out. Checkable cave and a fairy fountain in Def. Yeah, a lot of the useless Kakariko entrances are over here. Ah, Scruff stops playing his quick swap in time. Well, he's still mashing that button. Maybe he plays fighting games. He's suddenly very, very good at mashing that button. So he's still got a little bit more of Death Mountain to clear over here, and then we've got Dark Death Mountain. It's here. You can also see what we need to enter Turtle Rock. And that's Bonk Rocks there. NinjaTuna unfortunately getting Dead Rock blocked, so it's just going to walk off screen to reset the Dead Rock. Tries to disrupt the rock, and another Dead Rocks takes a pot shot at him. And Swagalicious has found 20 rupees in the Spiral Cave and has to loop around the whole mountain again from the west side. Which Quake to enter Turtle Rock? That's quite confusing. A good point by Edump. Not only do we need to find the... well, we actually have found the Swamp Palace entrance. It's in Swamp Palace, but we need to find the dam. So technically we still need to find the entrance to Swamp, just the Light World equivalent. Yeah, I did forget that the Swamp Palace entrance is in fact vanilla. But we do not know where the dam is. Once we find the dam and drain water, we can take our time getting over to Swamp. And the water will still be drained, and we can get inside. So we've got to find the dam, and we've got to find Eastern Palace. That's a backup desert. ScruffNinjaTuna is going to leave that behind. ScruffNinjaTuna is not pleased with that fairy fountain because he knows he's going to have to do a full loop around Death Mountain to get back to the top again. Like Swagalicious has just had to do, because he found the Spiral Cave entrance. Swagalicious also finds that fairy fountain is not taking the time to rage slash at it because he knows he's got another loop of a mountain to do. And Spy Cave, we have Super Bunny. It's a chain size on the mountain. So delete those blocks of a mirror, climb upstairs, drop down again, grab 2 chests, and find an exit. Nothing useful in there. Swaga, also tired of Fruit Loops, is going to make his way into Super Bunny Cave. And ScruffNinjaTuna has been spat out on the Turtle Rock balcony. He finds another fairy fountain, and is probably fairy. So, unfortunately, ScruffNinjaTuna is not going to be making his way to Ganon's Tower and find out what we need to enter Ganon's Tower. It may be utterly unnecessary to enter Ganon's Tower, but we don't have many entrances left. We need to find that dam and Eastern Palace. If it's in GT, we could be seeing quite a lot of crystals again. Right, Swaga has also found the fairy fountain. Really needs to go get that bow and check pyramid now. I want to see the magic shop too, and the Dark World equivalent. Okay, he's gone to Link's house. And he's looping south. It looks like he's going to get that. Now, Tuna looks like he's going to go into... No, he's looking for... There were 2 Turtle Rock entrances over here. Is he going to go into... He's going over to Hammerpeg. And we know Ganon's tower is... Well, Ganon himself is right. Not that he really be wanting to face off against Ganon. Yeah, Swaga finds the Swamp Palace front entrance. Again, vanilla location. But we don't know where the dam is. He's going to take a trip into Maya. This is one of the pendant dungeons he's got to do, so good time to do it, I guess. Can clear that up. Right, Swaga has his bow now, and looks like he's going to head back to GT. Gets one of his arrows stolen by the picket, but it's actually mirroring. Oh, he's going to check out Ice Palace. Yes, of course, he hasn't seen this yet. I don't think it was anything important for Tuna, but I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. Yeah, it's just a light bulb. So unfortunately, that loses him his Dark World portal, so he's not going to be able to go back into GT from here. So no second sword for him, or right side G. Yes, NinjaTuna is just making his way to the boss for now, not worrying too much about the rest of me. I think he's mostly in entrance hunt mode at this point. He's not too worried about the. Well, he's definitely not worried about the Maya entrance because we don't need him. We don't need a medallion to enter Maya itself. We just need a medallion for the Maya entrance, whatever that be. It could be Eastern Palace, it could be Dam. but he just wants to get the actual dungeon itself done. So yeah, he doesn't actually need a medallion to enter Maya. Maya the dungeon. Just Maya. So in terms of entities we haven't seen, I don't think we've seen the magic shop in the light world, nor the dark world. Swaga is heading south though from after doing his waterfall cave check, so we'll be seeing that magic. NinjaTuna is putting on his cape and doing the correct strat for Vitreous when you have the cape, which is to just spam sword swings. If you're spamming your sword swings, you drain much less magic than you normally would. So Swaga finds his way into Mimic Cave. Ah, yeah, Mimic Cave was of course boots. Very nice. Okay, so yeah, we saw this entrance much earlier on ScruffNinjaTuna's side. I forgot it was the magic shop. So there were boots inside there. ScruffNinjaTuna could not clear Mimic time because he had no means of attacking them. So Swaga has himself some nice boots now. He still can't get to the pyramid. The King's Tomb is Blind's hut in the light world. We've got another chess game in the Bumper Cave entrance. We don't know how to get to the Bumper Cave exit, which will get you to the Light Death Mountain escape exit, which again is somewhere you can go into to go somewhere else. It's a pretty notorious one. It can catch a lot of people out in entrance rando. I saw this in the back of Blind's hideout. So, dungeons. We have found Desert Palace, we found Tower of Hera, we found Palace of Darkness, we found Swamp Palace, although we don't know where the dam was to drain Swamp Palace, well, fill up Swamp Palace is. We found Feast Town, we found Mizumaya, and we found Turtle Rock. We've also found Ganon's Tower, we found Castle Tower. We found Hyrule Castle. In fact, swagalicious is in Hyrule Castle. We do not know where Eastern Palace is, and that's important. Because we need to pull up ahead. Swaga still does not know that. He has not gone over to the pyramid at all, 1 hour 20 minutes in. He does not know what kind of goal he's going for. ScruffNinjaTuna being in the Dark World is going to be able to check out graveyard lights as well as. There's the dam. That's Swamp Palace access. It's in great. This is bad for Swaga because he's going to be orphaning that entrance. And he doesn't even know it's pedestal. Mizumaya entrance is in the Dark World Fortune Teller's hut, north of Village of. So only Eastern Palace is AWOL right now. We have no idea where Eastern Palace is. Okay, Mizumaya entrance, we need bombers, yes. So we don't know what Mizumaya entrance is because we have no means of getting in there. We do have Quake for Turtle Rock, but that's it. Swaga's back in Skullwoods. Is he thinking to finish Skullwoods? This is entirely pointless for him. He doesn't know that yet. He's probably thinking 3 crystals minimum to fight Ganon. MrScruffNinjaTuna is starting his second required dungeon. Now, Ninja missed a bunch of stuff in Swamp Palace because he's effectively treating himself as being in, well, in Mizumaya, because he's effectively treating himself as being in Go mode. He just wants to find out Eastern Palace entrance. But if it's something like Gannon's Tower or Mizumaya entrance, then he could be in a bit of trouble if there's a required item in these dungeons as he's leaving behind. Because yeah, look at that. He's missed the first chest that he would normally grab. He's treating himself as being in Go mode right now. Our track and restreamer today, Amrith Alterna, is doing an excellent job of tracking the entrances. So, as listed, we've got the Bonkrok's entrances, not just the ones outside Sanctuary, but the ones outside Link's house too. Dark Magic Shop, and yeah, Mizumaya entrance and GT entrance. So, MrScruffNinjaTuna treating himself as being Go mode it's not a great thing, really. Swaga has no idea what he needs for Go mode yet. He is going to do that graveyard entrance, well, graveyard left hand. He's going to find the dam. He's going to get back into Sanctuary here, where he took a death to a Hinox earlier and sort of gave up on this area. Right, so Swaga's flooding the dam, so as long as he doesn't take another death with save crit, that Swamp Palace will stay flooded for him. So he could be looping south from here. Check out that pyramid, see, oh boy, it's pedestal. So Swaga's pretty near the Dark Magic Shop too. So this is one more entrance we haven't seen yet. Could this be Eastern Palace? Because if it is Eastern Palace, then MrScruffNinjaTuna is going to be in a really good bit of luck here. It's Desert Palace, left entrance. I think Swaga's already been. Yeah, we've been in Desert Palace a few times from other entrances. It just Swaga just didn't grab that small key. So he's still hunting for items. MrScruffNinjaTuna gets his second pendant, and now he is in Eastern Palace hunt mode. It's not in the Dark Magic Shop. It could be in some kind of bonk rocks. MrScruffNinjaTuna is heading directly north from the Swamp Palace, so he's going to be checking out one set of bonk rocks. Right, no, he can't check out bonk rocks because he has no. Okay, so Swaga's taking the other exit out of Desert Palace, so this is going to put him. Oh, that's a Night World, Dark World Death Mountain exit. So, move to Night World, check out entrance here. Good. And that's K45. So, Swaga going to go back through and maybe get to the pyramid eventually. Maybe. I mean, he doesn't need to. He could just dash off the top there and then walk through the other way. So the Master Sword was in Bob's chest in Gannon's Tower. Swaga tried to go for it, but took a fall down the pit instead. I think he bombed the tower before accidentally opening a chest and then just couldn't get to it. So he went down to Ice Armors, took a death to Ice Armors, just like MrScruffNinjaTuna is. So we don't know what's behind Ice Armors. and Swaga also missed out on the Master Sword, which was really unfortunate for him. I think this is going to be our first catfish check. Maybe a split up a medallion like his vanilla equivalent. It's not going to be Craig medallion though. Nope. Now, ScruffNinjaTuna finds himself in Spike Cave, and it's interesting he's choosing to do Spike Cave here, considering how much he skipped in other dungeons. You might as well get the location done and dusted whilst you're here, but it's interesting that he has skipped so much. Maybe he's getting worried about Palace. I'm definitely worried about. I don't think he has enough health to get back through here, so he's going to take the. Yeah, there he goes. And Swaga's finally going up to the pyramid, so check this sign out. I bet he's not going to be too happy about it. So Swaga has flooded the dam, and he knows where Swamp Palace is, so I imagine he'll be heading to Swamp Palace almost immediately. He knows where Mizumaya is. He's also in the dark about where Eastern Palace is. So he's going to be catching up to ScruffNinjaTuna here, but he's also going to be completely in the dark. And Swaga, where are you going? Where are you going, Swaga? Swaga? He's still hunting that Eastern Palace, I guess. Let's go. Oh, yes, Kane. Yeah, that's going to be necessary for your Maya clear. I forgot he didn't get Kane. So, yeah, he needed that. But he's going over to Palace in Darkness now. You know where Mizumaya and Swamp Palace are. Get those done, and then worry about Eastern. Yeah, he's still got a few more entrances to cover compared to ScruffNinjaTuna, so he is going to be trying to get those. And Scruffy is going to be quite worried about where that Eastern Palace is going to be. So potential nasty entrances could be Ganon's Tower, Mizumaya, Pyramid Fairy. Could also be looking at Bonk Rocks. Swagalicious has done, I think he's done the Bonk Rocks outside Sanctuary. I don't think he's done the Bonk Rocks outside Link's house. That's one that can easily catch people out because that's a location you never ever think of. Unless you're playing Entrance Random, of course. He's going to hand in that mushroom and he walks in back into Mimic Cave. So he's going to get his boots. This is good for Tuna because now he can access those. I don't actually remember where the magic shop. Oh yeah, magic shop was Checkerboard Cave, I think. So yeah, ScruffNinjaTuna can now check out 2 sets of bombs. I've missed a bit of Swagalicious society. Not sure if he's taken the save and crit or not. If he's taken the save and crit, that would have reset his dam state. He knows where the dam is, luckily, so he can just reflood it. But it looks like he's going to be heading into Mizumaya from here. He's activating his... Scruffy throwing around some bombs because he's obviously getting really upset about Eastern Palace now. You've got a couple of bomb clock. Not those bomb clocks, obviously, but the other ones. And we have seen... And I believe this is where Swaga got it. Yeah, Swaga's still going for entrances. He knows where Maya and Swamp is. He's just looking for Eastern. He's definitely lagging behind Ninja Tuna on entrances done first, so he's still got stuff to cover that Ninja Tuna has already done. He's doing purple chest. I mean, he's already done these entrances, I believe. Apparently not? No? Okay. Oh, he hasn't done the light world side of the race game. I think that's the wrong spot. He's going to mirror bomb. Well, there's the pyramid behind the Link's house bonk rocks. So we don't know what the actual pyramid fairy entrance is. That could be east. God, we're really running out of stuff here. We have seen the Skullwoods vanilla main entrance. I think it was Palace of Darkness. I don't think it was... I'm pretty sure... I know I saw Swagger. Let's just check out that entrance. We have seen the two Dark Rocks entrance on the Lightworld Death Mountain too. Swagger went over there. It wasn't... Swagger has lost his purple chest from that mirror bonk there. It's fine, because he don't need that purple chest, man. He just need to find Eastern Palace. He knows where Swan Palace and Mizumaya are. Perhaps he's just avoiding the dungeons until he can find Eastern Palace, and then he knows, do I need to check everything in these dungeons or not? Which is not a bad choice to make, really. But it's looking like that Eastern Palace is going to be in a very nasty location right now. But then he's going for stuff like Stumpy here. Or Dig Spot even. We're kind of seeing our runners do sort of isolated checks because they're not quite sure what to do at this point. They're trying to avoid the the necessary steps that would be to unlock nasty, nasty locations where Eastern Palace could be. But it's starting to look like, to me, that Eastern Palace is in a nasty, nasty location. But Tuna's actually going for Turtle Rock here. I mean, it is an option, but... Now, let's see. 5 and 6 were Paths of Darkness and Turtle Rock, so yeah, it is a reasonable option. But, I think I would have gone to Ganon's Tower and find out how many crystals you need to enter Ganon's Tower first before committing to the Red Crystal Dungeons. But then it's pretty low chance that it is going to be 3 crystals to enter GT. So, I don't... It's something to do at least. If you find a bomber's medallion here, then that's cool. Swagger is still dragging that purple chest around rather than fluting. I wonder why he's dragging it around rather than fluting. Spend the time to activate the flute. The dam is still drained for him. He can get inside Swamp Palace. He almost takes and save and crits. But that would reset his dam state. And now here comes the flute of thinking. Where do you want to go, Swagger? You're starting to think that Eastern Palace might be in a bad location, right? Or maybe you want to do Swamp Palace immediately so you can then take 7 crits. Ooh, MrScruffNinjaTuna gets a bite taken out of him by chain chomps. Tasty mushroom snack for doggies. And gets sent back to beginning. There's Ice Palace. I don't think we actually saw this Dark World shop. But it's over there anyway, and we don't care about Ice Palace. For now. Okay. So MrScruffNinjaTuna finds a map in the front of Turtle Rock. Oh yeah, of course. He didn't have a small key, so he can't continue in Turtle Rock. He has to find another entrance. There are 2 entrances over in Village Firecast, so it's pretty easy. Sarka's back on Death Mountain. Is he going to go up to Ganon's Tower to check how many crystals he needs to... Critical case of dead rock blocking, and Sarka now has to run away and get rid of those dead rocks. We'll just go around the... You could also rate out the dead rocks, but they kind of just sit there all purple and taunting you. Nobody... Okay, so I could just jump down to Spike Cave. Did he not check out the fairy fountain here? No, I guess not. Okay, he's wood running over there. Okay, yeah, MrScruffNinjaTuna is definitely thinking 5-6 dungeons, 5-6 crystals at this point, because he's now going for Paths of Darkness. So I think he's going to treat this like he's in go mode and not do very much in here at all. Because if it's Pyramid Fairy, then yes, he is in go mode. If it's GT, he will need to finish his crystal dungeons. But again, he could still treat those like he's in go mode. If it's Misery Mire entrance, then he is in a world of trouble. But so is Swagger for that matter. None of our runners know where Eastern Palace is, none of them know where Bomber's medallion is. So Swagger's exploring the top of the Dark Death Mountain here. We have seen all these entrances, but we did not see Ganon's Tower. How many crystals we need to enter? He's running over there. Oh, 7 crystals to enter GT. That's mean. He's taken the save and crit now, so that means he's going to have to reflood the dam. And the dam is at graveyard edge, which is a bit annoying to get to. Not so bad since starting from Sanctuary puts you very near the Dark World portal, but still annoying. So I think we're going to be looking at a whole lot of dungeon clearing now. We're going to start off with Pyramid Fairy. If we're lucky, it is going. If we're unlucky, we are going to be clearing a whole lot of content still. So I think this was a Turtle Rock entrance. This one's a Fairy Fountain, but the other entrances in here were Turtle Rock. Svargus decided Uprise and is going to go to Maya. I mean, it's dungeon he needs to do, so time. It's not technically an all dungeon seed because we do not have to do Castle Tower in any form. We do not need to do the drop down to Ganon. And if we did need to do the drop down to Ganon, we know where he is anyway. He's at the blacksmith's hut. The magic bat cave, rather. So no Castle Tower necessary today. So not all dungeons technically. But if it is GT for Eastern Palace, then yeah, we will be needing 7 crystals plus 3 pendants, so it's the next best thing. You could go kill Aggro 1 at that point anyway. Yeah, Tuna's still acting like he's in go mode here. He's not spending very much time in Palace of Darkness. He's figuring if it's a 1 in 3 chance that Eastern Palace is in Misery Maya, then I'm probably screwed. But he's taking the gamble on the 66% chance that is. So he's going to do his Pyramid Fairy checks first. If it's not that, then he'll go finish off Crystal Dungeons. And if it's still not in GT, then he knows he's got a lot of locations to backtrack on and cover. And he's going to think, right, yeah, I've lost at this point. He's basically taking the gamble to try and get himself. And I think it is the correct gamble to make. The odds are in his favor. And he's certainly quite a bit ahead of swagalicious right now, having a essentially a 4 dungeon advantage. So I spending a bit more time here than Mizumai than he'd normally expect. He's going to be checking out the cutscene chest and stuff. So he is kind of hunting for Bombers Medallion. He's not leaving stones unturned. Now, I do forget where the laser bridge entrance is, but that's all Ninja needs to do. I think there was it 4 items on the laser bridge or was there a key there? I think it was 4 items. Regardless, he's going to need a big key to get to Trinex, so he's got to find his Turtle Rock entrances and get through parts of a dungeon to get to Trinex. Once that's done, he can go to Pyramid Fairy and knock 1 out of 3 off his list. So swagalicious is being far here with missing Mire before going to Vitreous. There's just 3 bombs in the big chest. So no bombers medallion here. You might be thinking he's a little bit behind because he checked that sign outside pyramid so late. I was thinking, oh, I found pendant dungeons. I should have done these pendant dungeons earlier. So maybe he's thinking, I'm going to take the gamble. It could be in the Mizumai entrance, and that should be far, and check for Bombers Medallion. Reasonable choice to make if you're behind, I think, because if you do think you're behind, then rushing through the seed isn't really going to catch you up much time. Now, we did see a lumberjack check. I think it was either a magic bat or a fairy. A magic bat has the door that closes from the right, so door that closes to the left is I think fairy. So I think lumberjack was actually fairy. So that would mean that the Ganon hole is magic bat. You're not going to be clearing GT for that at any rate. Hey, if any of you guys want to donate me a Switch so that I can also get addicted to Animal Crossing, I am not going to deny it. I would perfectly happily accept a free Switch. So I tries to go for Cape Dash strats and doesn't work for some reason because oh yeah, he's only got Fighter Sword. That's not very effective. So he's going for bomb strats here. Throw bombs at the eyes. He's got a ton of ads to finish off the eyes after this. Very unfortunate he missed that Master Sword from Bob's chest in GT. MrScruffNinjaTuna still hunting for that big key in Telerock and check out the lava chest. There it is. Okay, just needs to get to the laser bridge now. He's right back there because he took the entrance there. So hey, he just missed. And swagalicious just has exactly enough hours to finish off Vitreous. We've got a helping of Trinex. We've got the red head and the blue head, the aggressive head and the cool-tempered head. So the cool head still has both in a lot of nasty. He breaks himself, reveals a rather strange turtle. Gonna bounce off into the corner here for Master Sword, and then just keep slashing with the Master Sword. Doesn't do too much damage, probably would be quicker with the hammer, but that is a menu swap, so he's just sticking with sword. And there goes the Trinex. So Argolis is heading to Swamp Palace, and I do not believe the water will be flooded. I think the water will still be present and he has to go back to the dam. Oh, nope, he's going away. Where's he going? Ah, he's heading to the Bonk Rocks. He hasn't done this yet. Right. Tuna is walking in circles a bit. Probably trying to remember where Pyramid Ferry is. Because it's not just to get to, well, where Bomb Shop is. Because you got to drag that bomb over there. I do not remember where Bomb Shop is myself. Yeah, if ever you find yourself playing Ensigns Rando, you need a really decent tracker. So, if you're playing Mystery Seed this week, be prepared. Ensigns can strike at you at any time. I do not know why Swaga's going for finishing off Skullwoods yet. He kind of hesitated a bit and thought, maybe I should get grabbed by a Wallmaster. Why am I doing this? I do not know why he's doing this. He's seen Pedestal go and he knows he needs to find Desert Palace. And this isn't a 5-6 crystal to get to Pyramid Ferry, it's just a crystal to get into G. And I really would be doing the 5-6 crystals before the GT crystals. Anyways, Tuna has found his bomb shop. He's taking a big bomb over to Pyramid Ferry, and we are going to see if this is Eastern Palace very shortly. It's, I believe, at this point a 1 in 3 chance. Alright, Pyramid, what you got for us? Eastern Palace? Music's changing. It's Mini Mortal. Oh, that's an Ether medallion. Not the medallion. That's a Bomber's medallion. Huh. Okay. Time to check out Missy My entrance. That Bomber's medallion being there of all places is such a lifesaver for ScruffNinjaTuna. If it was in the dungeon he'd already cleared, like Swamp Palace, then yeah, he'd be in trouble. So this is going to finalize for NinjaTuna if he's going to need all those clear all the dungeons or not. The good news is that he can effectively really treat himself like he's in go mode now because he doesn't need any more medallions to open up stuff. He just needs to clear dungeons. And it's either going to be Eastern Palace here or a crystal or something else, and he just needs to go to all crystal dungeons to open up GT instead. So, is this Eastern Palace? Or do we need to spend another 40 minutes finishing this seed? Let's find out. It's Eastern Palace. Time to rush to the back, kill some much easier Alamos Knights, and then go pull some. So actually Pyramid Ferry was totally necessary. For places for Bombers Medallion to pop up, and it was in possibly the luckiest place for ScruffNinjaTuna possible. Swagger's doing Spy Cave. Okay, yeah, he hasn't done this before. He did see it earlier. I am just very, very confused why he's doing this over dungeon. He's seen GT. He needs 7 crystals to into GT. He doesn't know where Eastern Palace is. He knows he can do Pyramid Fairy. He knows he can also do Swamp Palace, one of his necessary pendants. Because he's also seen the sign outside the pyramid. So I do not know why Swagger is doing this over dungeons right now. Do your dungeons. If you find bombers down in there, which you won't, then at least you're making your dungeons more efficient. You can worry about overworld later. He still doesn't want to do Swamp Palace. I have no idea why he's avoiding it. So as for that Bombus, he's not missing any items to finish Crystal Dungeons. That Bombus gets you an Eastern Palace, which of course isn't a Crystal Dungeon. You can complete all Crystal Dungeons, is what I should say. So if you're taking Pessimistic Fearless in GT, just go do Crystal Dungeons. You'll knock 5-6 on the way, and you'll get Pyramid Fairy, which is where your Bombus Medallion actually is. Which will get you into Mizumai entrance, aka Eastern Palace. So yeah, I really wouldn't be committing to this overworld now. MrScruffNinjaTuna has gone past the 2-hour mark, but he's probably about a minute and a half away from finishing at this point. Swaga's heading back into Turtle Rock. I think he was trying to find the Turtle Rock entrance. I mean, this is a necessary dungeon he needs to do. I just would say doing a pendant dungeon and trying to find a medallion there would be more efficient. So here we have Amos, not on ice. Now with bow, much easier. Oh, misses one of the Amos. A few angry slashes there from Ninja Tune. Gets a little bit of a refill from for his troubles. Gets his last pendant, and we're on our way to the pedestal. A foggy forest, 3 pendants in hand, the pedestal beckons. Pull it and victory will be yours. Unfortunately, you don't even have a book to see that you win on the pedestal. But in this case, MrScruffNinjaTuna is going to win this race and come in first place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. And he's already jumped the gun and I think joined us in Discord. GG.
Oh, it would help if I unmuted myself. GG.
Okay, so your first thoughts when walking out of Link's house into the front of Link's house, and then walking into Hyrule Castle and finding yourself somewhere completely different.
I gotta say I was thinking it was gonna be entrance, just due to the quick swap option popping up for me. I'm not 100% on that as of yet, but I kind of was like, you know what? Better be prepared than anything else. What I was not thinking was, yeah, this is going to be a totally annoying sea that's going to make me think I'm way behind and This is gonna make me last location everything. That is not what I was thinking.
So if you were thinking of Ganon's Tower, you needed 7 crystals to enter GT.
Oh goodness. I'm glad I did not read that sign then. It was honestly, I was thinking about it after I finished Turtle Rock. I'd forgotten that the entrance of Turtle Rock puts you in the Mire area. Is the sole reason why I decided to go Pyramid Crack instead. And lucky for me, that just led me right down the chain of events that was necessary.
Yeah, you were really go moding Mizumai and Swamp Palace there, and I was saying the whole way, if your Bomber's Medallion was there and Eastern Palace was Mizumai, which it was, then that would have been really, really bad for you because you would have to be scouring basically every single check trying to find that Bomber's Medallion once your Pyramid Fairy did not bear fruit. But it bore fruit, not the direct kind, but Bomber's Medallion was there, probably the luckiest position possible for you, I think.
Oh yeah, I was sweating bullets the entire time. By the time I had found the dam, I was thinking to myself, all right, I am set. I am perfect to go. I don't need to check any other chests as long as it's not Misery Mire entrance. And so that's why I was kind of running past everything. And the more entrances I checked, and the less likely chance that I found Eastern, I was like, okay, let's start checking the really easy things to see if I can find some items. And I found the boots. I'm like, okay, this is gonna help. Let's check all the boots locked areas. No? Okay, let's carry on forward and see. The saving grace is I knew that the last area that I didn't check in Light World was the other side of Bumper Cave. And I knew that was going to put you on the eastern side of Desert because that was the only place in the Light World left, and this wasn't Cross Worlds.
In terms of, I was expecting some crossroads myself, but since this wasn't crossroads, we didn't really have any important connectors at first. There was that Turtle Rock entrance, of course, but that was about it.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that Kakariko had so many dang connectors. That was the hub, and then have your sanctuary be Lost Woods. And I
It's kind of like a fast travel village instead of an actual village to access important stuff. You can just get to the other side of the world quicker from Kakariko.
exactly.
And there were a lot of dungeons next to each other too. You say like had Paths of Tower of Hera right next to GT.
Oh, I honestly am glad that Bombos was not behind Ice Armos or in outside of the basement of GT, because I was never going back to that
Oh,
unless the goal required me to. I was never going back to that.
yeah, Swaga had equal amounts of trouble with the ice Amos, and he's been running around with a fighter sword because he actually bombed the floor before checking the chest and then couldn't get to the chest. So took a fall and ended up with a toothpick versus the ice Amos. Although I believe the Master Sword does like weird amount of damage and actually less damage than fighter sword in some situations to Amos Knights because they're weird. So it didn't penalize him there; it just penalized him for everything else afterwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's terrible to go through most of this game without any weapon. At least we had the hammer for tempered damage, but then just being teased with that fighter sword, saying, "Hey, you can do something." No, never mind.
Very worried that this is sword is actually because this is like the second race I've covered this week where we've seen first sword an hour in, and none of the sword checks before that either, like say Skullwood's Vines or Agatha or Ice Palace.
Another reason why I was sweating bullets the entire time, because since I didn't find that sword for the longest, I was thinking to myself, all right, if I find Ice Palace first, that'll tell me right off the bat if this is swordless or not. And then I got that first fighter sword in GT. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
And then there was the sword right after. I mean, you don't
Which
know. Tempered sword could have been behind ice almost. Wouldn't be the first time this week I've seen three swords in GT either.
Nah, add insult on injury. It wasn't just tempered behind Ice Armos, it was also butter.
And silvers, nice early burst. You don't have to go to Lake Hylia. Why not? I gather that you do quite like Entrance Rando as a mode, so you must have been pretty pleased about seeing this.
I was actually. I was kind of scared that this was going to end up being one of those weird seeds where it was practically an open or standard mode, nothing else changed. Because I love doing mystery stuff. I mean, the whole point of mystery is not knowing what you got until you read that signpost or you fight Ganon, and you just kind of route around from there. So getting entrance in this situation, I think, was a blessing in disguise.
So just as a personal anecdote, your finish time is about the same time as the other pestle seed I covered this week, and that was inverted, and that wasn't entrance rando, but it was key sanity, and it had a full GT clear, completely unnecessarily because the key to the Trinex was Ice Rod, and that was in Spiral Cave rather than GT. But it did end up in 214 out of 216 checks done. So it could.
Oh, goodness.
So this seed has been turned out quite nasty in a completely different way.
After you just gave me that
Also,
wonderful experience, yeah, I'd much rather take the seat I played over what you just described.
don't forget to tell Cynac that this was a 2 hour plus pedestal seed, by the way.
Oh, I'll go ahead and ping him right now.
But yeah, GG's nonetheless. So I haven't been paying too much attention to Swagger here in the last few minutes. It looks like he's going into the back of Thieves Town. I think he is in Bomber's Hunt mode. He's done Misery Mire. Hasn't done Swamp Pass yet. I am rather surprised that he's going for checks like these rather than going for the 5-6 crystals, because I reckoned, okay, if you're going to take the pessimistic approach and it's in GT, definitely do the 5-6 crystals first, because you can get lots of checks done along the way. You, of course, go moded all those checks, so irrelevant for you. But you get those checks done along the way. You can get a Pyramid Fairy unlocked. If it's in Pyramid Fairy, great. And it kind of was in Pyramid Fairy, so. But he's kind of committing to other stuff at the moment. He went after he got the information that there were 7 crystals to enter GT and it was pedestal. He decided to go do Skull. He went and did Mizumar, and then he went and did Skull Woods, and now he's doing Thieves Town. And kind of confused here, so I do want to ask him about it when he finishes. Oh, there's a red mail down in the Thieves Town basement. But yeah, other than this being a fairly nasty pedestal seed, all things considered, how have you been enjoying the league?
The league has been phenomenally entertaining. I've been loving the different styles of seeds we've been having, going from an open to ambrosia to animizer to this. I'm really excited for the next few weeks coming up, especially the co-op all dungeons.
Oh yeah, that is going to be super fun to check out. I think it's Crossroad Key Sanity next week.
Yep, cross keys.
Yeah, just like the first season. What's your opinion on that?
Cross keys I've been practicing a bit recently. I got into a group that's been doing a lot of cross keys bingo, so I just started into that just for the hell of it. And apparently I've been getting better, hopefully. So I think that will actually end up being a really fun week. Just not 100% sure I'll actually win. I'll have fun nonetheless.
I mean, that's what we're all here for, to be honest, isn't it? If you're not having fun, why do you even play the game in the first place?
Exactly.
So, Cyclist has finished off Thieves down there. Gets himself another crystal. It's not a 5-6 crystal. He's sitting at his save. Okay, judging from ISC, it looks like he is taking a forfeit, and he's doing his forfeit right about now. And that does sound like him joining ISC actually. So not ISC, it's Discord actually. So GG's.
Yeah, that was a rough scene. It was,
I gotta say, you barely missed out on the Master Sword.
yeah, I bombed the floor, and then I realized I'm not running, any percent where, I'm actually supposed to do it before I check the chest.
So I do want to ask you about your routing later on. So you saw that it was 7 crystals to enter GT, and you got to your information that it was actually a pedestal seed. So you would need to do a lot of clearing. So you went and did Maya, and then you kind of did a few crystal dungeons after that. What was your thinking about that?
So actually, now that I've hopped in the restream, I just realized that Skull Woods actually is a crystal, and I mismarked it on my tracker.
Oof.
Ah, right, yeah. Okay, so the 5-6 crystals were Turtle Rock and
Pod. Yes,
Palace
I
of
had
Darkness.
that. And then my last 2 checks at this point are 7 crystals for GT for Eastern, which I didn't think was likely considering Mr. Scruff finished at like 2 hours. So then I was hoping Basement of Thieves, and if not, I already mostly clear TR. I just hop in and then do TR Pod and then check Pyramid Ferry, considering TR and Pod are both on Dark Death Mountain.
So the Bombers Medallion unlocked Mizumaya, and that was Eastern Palace, but the Bombers Medallion was actually behind Pyramid Ferry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's rough.
I thoroughly lucked out on that one, man. I just got to come clean. That was a shot in the dark, a crazy play, and 1 in a million chance.
Yeah, I think my early routing was horrible. I think I went 30 minutes before I got my sword.
When you beat me, I think I got mine at like 45.
Okay. Yeah, I like routed around everything, and then I look at my tractor. It's like, wait, there's this this drop down right here. I wonder what it is. Turns out it's the well.
That was a great drop down.
Well, I guess it was a pet seed, possibly a hard plus, almost an expert pet seed.
I mean, we only got. Oh, you got 1 sword. I got 2. I only got blue mail. So
I did get red mail, so it couldn't have been expert.
We'll just call it expert and leave it at that.
I think in hard mode you're not allowed any mail upgrades at all. So as soon as you get your blue mail, you know you're not in hard mode or expert for that matter.
Really? So where was the other sword?
It was in Bob's chest.
Oh, the one that I bombed?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it wasn't bombos in there the entire time when I was doing my bombos hunt.
Oh god, that would have been so awful. That's what made me worry, because when I was routing everything, I had checked almost every entrance so far. So when I found my last item to clear the 3 pendant dungeons, I was thinking, all right, I am in go mode. I just need to figure out where this dang dungeon is. So I didn't check anything else. I go moded everything else up until the point where I was running out of entrances.
I was very tempted to go mode Mire, considering it's basically God Mire, and then I was like, what if my Bombos is in Mire? Or at that point, it's just Bombos hunt. I've been Bombos hunting for the last half hour.
It was just crazy.
I think I cleared all Light World. All I have left was GT, Mire entrance, and Pyramid Ferry.
Yep, that's what I was down to. I did not read the sign outside of GT, so I didn't know it was 7 crystals. I was going to, but after I cleared Turtle Rock, I forgot that it shot you back to Misery Mire. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go pull up the big bomb and do that instead.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't consider that when I was thinking of clearing Turtle Rock into Pod. Yeah, because clearing Turtle Rock would take me back to Mire and then have to go all the way around again.
Yep, but my god, some of those connectors, man, they were just mean, but some of them were hilariously nice. Like Kakariko, woof.
Kakariko. Did you find connectors in Kakariko? I found Smith's and Bomb Shop in Kak.
We had Smith's Bomb Shop, we had the Elder's House, we had what I have dubbed the Poop Cave, which is
Elder's House
Eastern
linked
Death
to
Mountain.
each other, and I didn't think they were that useful.
Not truly useful, but like for early routing it was good, because it shot you all over the place. So instead of having to run, or in this case, walk, to go ahead and get the early stuff out of the way, that's what really helped me with my early routing. Was just being able to bounce from, west high roll to north high roll to southern high roll without a second thought.
Yeah. I took a few deaths early in Overworld, trying to get to places, especially Dark World, Overworld.
Yeah, 3 hearts is kind of hard to navigate most of that garbage.
Yeah. How did you end up getting to the GT Hera? Did you go through Skull Woods or did you swim?
Oh no, I actually found the connector. Paradox Cave let me out there.
The Paradox. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Skull Woods one.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if you went all the way up there.
I did.
And then the other entrance is up on the floating island.
Yep. I ended up finding the back of Skull Woods, found Floating Island, was super tempted to jump off, but I was like, no, let's just check the other. That's when I found Hera and GT. Cleared Hera. I'm so proud that I actually did the Hera pop without screwing up.
I tried Hera, but I didn't have boots when I tried it, so I don't remember the non-boots lineup.
It is tough, I would say, if you don't practice it, but at the same time, I've been having such bad luck with it that I either get it first try or I just fail completely.
Yeah, I was really hoping nothing was on right side GT because I found Samaria pretty late.
Same. Same.
I was tempted to do Ice Armos with Fighter Sword, and then it just didn't work out. The other thought was Blue Ring Ice Armos, but that's even worse. I think it's like 32 hits per Armos.
Uh-huh. I attempted Master Sword Armos, and then I got down to half a heart. I attempted Bloomerang Armos, and then died.
Yeah. That's not the most fun time.
But still hilarious.
Oh, it's 48? Okay. Interesting.
I gotta say, GG's, it was just a gut-wrenching race all around. I was not sure I was gonna win that.
Yeah, that was it's a rough race.
But it's alright. That's the joy of mystery. The next race for your team coming up will probably be so easy for you guys. You'll be like stomping poor Tabby Cat.
I believe they race, what, in an hour on Speed Gaming?
I believe so, yeah.
2 or 3?
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, in an hour on Speed Gaming 3.
Alright.
In fact, no one's commentating that. Someone's gonna snatch that up. Yoink!
Not me. I've done my fair share of talking today. So, GG guys, excellent race as always. So yeah, if you're late nights out in my country, or you're living on the other side of a pond and it's not so late for you, please do check out our other races that are happening on the League channels and the Speed Gaming channels. I don't think we have any more races on the League channels tonight, so it's mostly going to be on Speed Gaming 1 to 5, sometimes 6. All right. GG's landing once again. Thank you so much for the race, MrScruffNinjaTuna and swagalicious. I don't think the runner commands have been updated, so I can't get your links in chat, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's all good.
But shout outs to, your names are right there on the restream, so it should be easy to search for if you want to give these guys a follow, and please do give them a follow. Shout outs also to the tracker and restreamer for today, MrScruffNinjaTuna, for helping get this all set up, helping keep us on track, and also keeping a far better record of those entrances than I do, because I do not have a good entrance tracker. I wasn't prepared to get up a good entrance tracker. Probably should be, but hey, thanks for volunteering, and thanks for the race, and see you all in the next race.
See you then.
See you then.